Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the author, AuthorASnorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we usually do each and every Wednesday afternoon, we take no more than about 15 minutes to pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from any of the books or audiobooks, close out with a few announcements and words of, I'll say, motivation or encouragement. So I thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to join us. It allows me a time to pause and reboot, and I hope it does the same for you, because sometimes you can't wait until the night. You can't wait till the next day. Sometimes you need something right then, and there. So we hope that this helps provide that for people. The best way to stay connected with me is through Linktree. So on your internet server, if you type linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton, had to think about it for a minute. That'll be the easiest way to get to all the social media, the website, our newsletter that comes out twice a month, the information on the Author Andrew Snorton blend in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, archival editions of the Conversation Corner through Status Network, as well as any interviews, updates, things along those lines. Social media wise, I'd say it's easiest to add me on Instagram at AuthorASnorton. And when you click on the link in the bio, that'll be my link tree for you to navigate through. So I figure by sharing that versus all the things, so you don't get too confused or bogged down, that'll probably be the easiest way to stay connected with me. Before we get into our selection from one of my favorite books that I've written, and we're going to pull something from quotes and notes because we can all use some type of motivational or encouragement or thought-provoking thing. We always want to take a moment to acknowledge those that are going through difficult times. We know that everybody's dealing with something. There's some people that are really dealing with some serious things right now. So to anyone out there that's dealing with the transition of a family member, friend, or loved one, it might be something on the job, something within family, some other, personal, professional, whatever challenges are going on. We want to acknowledge that. We want to acknowledge how you feel and that you have every right to feel some kind of way. But the bigger right that you have is to identify constructive ways to pull through and come through it, as fully as possible. So whether it requires professional help, it requires you changing up the way that you move and operate, the circles that you're in, the people that you're around, or whatever, please identify ways that will be more positive than negative and more constructive than destructive. By the same token, we know there's people out there who are experiencing some wonderful things, a new job, a new jacket. Well, I've had this one since the summer. A new jacket, whatever. There are positives that are going on that you definitely want to acknowledge. You want to celebrate. You want to feed off of. Don't overindulge, but make sure to feed from those constructive things that are helping you just grow and flourish and be, the great person that you're still destined to be. But we always want to acknowledge both sides of the coin because, hey, that's life, and we can be on either one. So speaking of that, we're going to pull a selection from quotes and notes. Something's on the horizon. All the quotes, to the exception of one, are original quotes from yours truly. One that I borrowed from my grandmother, that is not just the deep thought, but it's explaining the logic, explaining the rationale, and giving you a space to kind of come up with your own thoughts and ideas. So I'm going to pull one of the quotes that I've possibly have used before, but periodically it's good to revisit and what have you. So I'm going to look at one of these this is always a good one, whether you're a fellow author, you're a singer, you're someone in press and media, or just anybody. I want to read this quote because it is definitely important for all of us to remember. And here it goes. The size of your platform is important, but what's more important is understanding you have one. Use it accordingly, and you never know what impact you can make. So a lot of times in the social media era, we worry about how many followers, how many likes, all that type of thing, who's famous and all that type of stuff. And that has some importance. But here's the most important thing. Some of the most powerful statements have come from people whose names aren't on the spotlight or all that type of thing. Think about those impactful people in your family, maybe people who taught you, coached you, if you played a sport, they might not have always had the spotlight on them, but they said something that remained on your spotlight and remained on your radar. And that lets you know that as long as you have a mind that can work to whatever degree, a voice, whether it's from your mouth, writing, or recording, all of us have a platform and all of us have the capacity to use it. So let's make sure that we're using that accordingly. If there's people that you see that are doing some good things across the board, professional community, hit the like or share button. Don't wait and only do it when a famous person does. And that's not knocking famous people, but there's superstars right there in front of your face that even if they're not on TV all the time or aren't on a billboard on the time, it doesn't make what they say less important. And it doesn't mean your impact is less meaningful because you don't have, quote, the same types of numbers somebody does. And there's people who have numbers that don't do squat with their platform. I went ahead and said it. You can loop that all you want. So understand this. You have a mind, you have a voice. Use it accordingly. And it doesn't always have to be a long, opus or what have you, OPUS meaning work, but just understand that you have a platform and please use it accordingly because it might be your voice that resonates better with people compared to someone else. So that's the thought of the day coming from Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. Pick it up at your favorite bookstore. If it's not your favorite bookstore, definitely request it. And Amazon, Barnes and Noble, you can order it from there as well as, different stores pretty much across the country and other venues. So as we get ready to kind of piece things together, many thanks to the folks at Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. Had a lot of fun. First off, it was a good day weather-wise. A lot of fun with the book signing done this past Saturday. Thanks to members of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, who stopped by. Thanks to friends of our PHAMIOY of Alpha Kappa Alpha who stopped by. Other readers, authors, fellow Wake Forest alums. Thank you to everybody. Of course, thanks to the owner, Marcus, doing some amazing things there at the bookstore. So again, that's Nubian Bookstore. Thank you. The next event on the horizon, we'll have an announcement coming up next week, but we will probably the Saturday of Thanksgiving be back up at Fonte's Coffee, as we'll do another little pop-up, but we'll be able to drop the holiday edition of the author Andrew Snorton blend. So I've dropped a couple of hints on it. There'll be new drip coming. So shouts to our friends at Fonte's Coffee. Everybody top to bottom, just amazing people doing amazing work. And if the coffee isn't available where you are, request it. And you can go again on AuthorASnorton on Instagram. Click on the link in the bio, as well as going to fontescoffee.com. Click on special editions, special collections. You'll see the whole lineup of the author Andrew Snorton blend coffees, as well as copies of the autographed books that you can get. Trying to think what else. Oh, shouts and acknowledgement to the members of the iconic Iota Zeta Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. They held a great black tie affair, the Sigma Lounge, which took place this past Saturday at Piedmont Park. So amazing work by the chair, the committee, members of the chapter. A great event. So I'm sure there's photos floating around, but acknowledge them and the work that they're doing. And happy early Founders Day to the members of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, as their Founders Day comes up this Sunday, November the 12th. Trying to think if there's anything on the horizon. Those are the most immediate things as we're really getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. And we'll talk about this as the holidays are getting closer, but we know the holidays mean different things to different people. For a number of people, it's a sense of excitement, a sense of relief to kind of pause and breathe. But we know for others, it can be a challenging time, especially when you think of people who have recently transitioned or who transitioned a while ago and you're still feeling that. So let's, during the holiday season, as best as possible, do what we can to speak life into people, speak encouragement into people. We know if we were in that situation, we want people to put in a positive word for us. So let's try to, as best as possible, to do the same for others. And yes, we're aware of different things that are going on locally, regionally, nationally, globally that are really problematic. And let's do what we can to slow down that problematic cycle. We might not be able to do everything, but there are things that we can do. So let's identify what we can do and just try to leave a positive footprint and leave things a little bit better for people coming behind us and who are with us right now. So again, hopefully this moment to kind of pause and check in is helping people. I know it helps me. I'm gonna grab some lunch and then I gotta wear my educator hat to get some other work done. But stay connected with me. linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. That way you can add me. You can go there, find everything: the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter /X, YouTube, the Conversation Corner, information on the AuthorASnorton blend coffee, interviews, and then the newsletter. And as I always like to say, whether small or big, a victory is a big victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious, keep it moving. Continue blessings, well wishes, words of encouragement for all in need. Look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Take care.